What's up, you guys? It's your boy Miguel here to give you your daily dose of radiation. In today's video, we are covering overtime in the world of radiology as an X-ray tech. So to give you context, I am a night shift X-ray tech. I've been doing it for over four years now at a trauma 3 in the state of Texas. I've been currently at my establishment for my whole 4 years. And I would say that I dabble in a good amount of overtime. Now, depending on where you work at, overtime can vary. I will tell you off the rip, if you're willing, like, to work overtime, you can make a good amount of money. I would say there's two sides to it. You can either pick up during what I call the summer or not flu and COVID season. I would pick up mainly during those times because it's more chill. But if you don't care, and Miguel, I'm willing to work whenever, fine, But I wouldn't recommend like the October to December or even a little bit past that range, depending on where you work at, because during those months we have like the heaviest workload, both night shift and day shift, and you're gonna earn that money. You'll be tired, really, really tired. Like the workload, it can go from like 3x to 4x, literally. So I would recommend picking up extra shifts if you don't have to during those seasons. Ideally, you want the summertime, crank them out. That's when we have the most chill at our profession as X-ray techs. I would recommend that. But I mean, at my work, I would say I've had a few good, years or seasons, I guess you would call it, of there were certain, roles, like there was the opposite X-ray crew that was missing a shift. So for like a good year, I was cranking in 26 nights straight of night shift, and I was making a crazy amount of money. Like I think the biggest check I've ever seen, I want to say, I think it was like 5,000 I took home in one paycheck. Was like, so like 10,000 a month, which is like the biggest I've made. Or a little bit more, I can't exactly remember. But like I was making good money. So you can make good money depending on where you work or how the overtime, because certain places, they have a lot of PRNs, they don't have a lot of PRNs. Usually the hospital will want the PRNs to pick up so the full-time people don't have to work overtime. Certain places, they won't let you work overtime, or they rather not. They're really stingy and they don't want to pay more. So it's like certain hospitals, I've seen it where you can't. Other places like mine, they just want someone to be there and push the button. And at our establishment, they have a little group chat. And depending on the generation of people who's working, usually the older techs, there's certain people, you will never, ever, ever, ever see them pick up overtime. They just do their little 40 and go on home. And if they get called into work for being on call, they'll do that. Besides that, that's it. You'll never see them. Which, I understand them too, because I feel like once you're older like that, you probably wouldn't want to, or even your body probably would be really tired. It's mainly the young folks who come into our career that will be fighting for the overtime. For a little bit, at the first 3 years of my job, I was the only one who was picking up ungodly amount of overtime. And now it's become a chaotic war of even picking up shifts because a lot of people want to do it, which, with this shitty economy, I would understand why people need more money just to be okay. So I would highly recommend, and if you're new to the profession, do it in the summer. If you have PTO, burn it during the winter if you can, because it is if it's your first year going into this job, you can quickly see the workload difference between summer and winter. And even day shift, night shift, you can see it on both. But day shift, yes, you have more techs, but or even working overtime, I'm willing to always put up with more bullshit, I guess, just because I'm getting paid more money. Simple as that. Because, like, there's sometimes I'm there during the day shift, and I'm like, if I wasn't getting paid overtime, I would be mad right now. Because it'll be like, sometimes it'll just be certain techs you work with on the opposite crew, or even that don't, like, the workload is off balance and it's not even, and that will cause, and I'm like, it gets chaotic. So, but once again, you're here to just do your job, push a little button, and go home. But that's my recommendations for anyone new to the career. Pick it up during the summer, back off during the winter. And I mean, depending on the kind of lifestyle, or if you have family, I mean, I got kids. There's different shifts. I mean, at our hospital, we have like the 8 to 8, the 8, like 8 to 8 a.m., 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. There's like 8 to 4:30. There's like different shifts that are available. And you can kind of pick. I know on the weekend, a lot of people don't want to work on the weekend, so there is sometimes availability to pick up there, or even during the holidays. Sometimes the older Xray techs don't want to work their holidays, so you can pick up some of those holidays. I mean, or even swap. You never know. All depends on the people you work at. But it all kind of depends on like your hospital, if you can do overtime or you can't. And I know that there was a little phase at our hospital where they were very uptight about it and didn't want us full-time crew to work overtime. But then people started quitting, or they started going to other modalities, and it's once they get desperate that the more pay or the bonuses, or they're more flexible with their whole rules. Because I've seen them go from like, no, we can't have no overtime, to, hey, can anyone pick up? And then no one answers, no one wants to do it, and then they throw money. They're like, hey, we got a bonus if you pick up at so-and-so. Or, hey, we got this if you pick up. And sometimes it gets so bad because certain doctors are there, or certain equipment's fucked up, or it's going to be downtime. Certain variables, and they'll just throw more money and more money until someone is like, hey,